All right, team. Hey, Chuck with Traders War Room. Guys, this is the Traders War Room midweek SITREP, 29 June. We're going to go ahead and get it kicking off. I'll just add people in as they come in, like Derek just coming in. Thank you for coming in. Guys, use stocks, chart, and hot news, man. The idea is to get a plan in motion so we can go attack the market tomorrow. I do this free of charge. All I ask is you let me do my intro, and then we will knock out the tickers and the charts that you want to cover inside of the chat group, guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Legal disclaimer, this is not financial advice. The content is for entertainment and education purposes only. You are responsible for every decision you make. We want you to have fun, use caution, and always, always go to war. Some services we provide. Now, we got some other people from other Discords, so I'm not going to post a lot of services because I'm not trying to solicit, but I just want you guys to understand, guys, we have a ton of things that we offer at Traders War Room. We have both free and paid services. Yes, we are a premium server, but we offer a lot of free stuff as well. But guys, you can check it out at your leisure right there at traderswarroom.com and go ahead and get educated on the stuff that we have to offer. Trade of the day, guys. We absolutely killed the market earlier today. SPY was a little difficult, a little bit coming into it today. We were a little leery, but we went ahead and trimmed some. But some of the trades we had today, look at this. We had a swing trade on Apple. On Apple trade that we went ahead and closed out full position. Fantastic trade there. At AMD, guys, AMD was absolutely a destroyer. Look at that entry at 199, exit full position at 855. Guys, you can't make that stuff up. Check the time and date stamps right there. We absolutely killed these trades today. Bottom line, we're destroying the market no matter which direction it goes, up, down, sideways. It doesn't matter, man. We're going to make money. And we want you to quit wasting that money that doesn't make money. Are you guys ready for war? Because Traders War Room is. Guys, without further ado, please put those tickers in the chat group and let's go ahead and get started. Here we go, pulling up the chart. Now, I'm showing this chart here first because we always like to give a little bit of education before we go ahead. Now, listen, guys, if you're relatively new to trading, you guys are probably looking at charts in one frame, all right? You need to elevate your game, okay? You got to look at two trades. If I'm looking at something that's in the NASDAQ, for instance, if I'm looking at, say, Tesla, TSLA, right? Okay. I'm always usually looking at the 5-minute chart as we're trading throughout the day. But I got SPY open on my second chart always, okay? And SPY is usually on the 15-minute, so I can get a good indication of some trend. Because I know that usually if Tesla's dumping, SPY is usually dumping, or vice versa, all right? So I'm looking at two charts at the same time. I just want to give you a little pro perspective so you guys can understand. If you're looking at just one chart, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to be checking some other charts simultaneously so you can see the trends and see the volume and see kind of what's going on so it can give you better entry and exit criteria, all right? Now, let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to go ahead and do single charts for this going on right now, and I saw SPY already come in the chat group, so we're going to cover SPY. Guys, consistency is what pays the bill, okay? Anytime you look at a stock chart, the very first thing you do, you got to get a bird's eye view approach, all right? Bird's eye view approach is going out on a larger time frame. Now, you can go weeks, months, years, whatever you want, but I like to go ahead and get onto the days, and I like to get some basic moving averages, and this is all just to get a basic picture of what's going on. And so as you guys can see right now, SPY definitely was on a downward slope, right? We had a little bit of resurgence. We saw that yesterday and the day before in the market where it started peaking, almost looking like it wanted to go test this gap right here. and to see if we could fill it to the top, but we failed. Okay, we were rejected. So now we come back down and we actually closed. If we look at this, we closed pretty tight. Okay, we did have some movement, but we'll look at this, the meat and potatoes. Okay, the main full thickness of this candle, the meat and potatoes, as I call it, a lot of the price action was done in a very tight window. All right. This, when I look at this, when I think of this, I start to put triggers, okay? And when I'm talking about triggers, I go ahead and do things like this. I start to make little lines, okay? I'll put a trigger at the top. I'll be like, all right. And then what this does, this tells me a little battle plan to go ahead and get ready for the next day, all right? So basically, all right, so I got my trigger at the top, I got my trigger at the bottom. Say if SPY opens tomorrow on a 5-minute chart and closes above this line, I'm thinking calls, at least for a 2-leg strategy, so that we can make some money intraday, right? Same concept goes with puts. If it closes below this bottom line right here, about 378, something like that, right? Closes below my bottom line on a 5-minute chart, I'm thinking puts, at least for a 2-leg strategy. If you follow the moving averages and follow the price direction, you can definitely make some more if it continues to go. But that's how you get those plans in motion. So I'm about 50-50 on SPY. I think we will have a relief day from 3 red days in a row, boom, 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 right? I think we'll have a relief day because this does signify to me and tell me, since we had some tight price action, that, you know, we're not ready to go completely dumping yet, okay? I think we get a little relief day, maybe even go try to attack the previous day's high and see what we can do and hold at the top. So I do think we get a relief day, and we'll see what happens when the bell rings tomorrow. All right, let's get into the stocks that you guys want to cover. All right, Tesla, TSLA, here we go. All right, bird's eye view approach on Tesla. Tesla looks a lot like SPY, okay? Now, Tesla's a little different beast, okay? We got a little bit of downward pressure with Tesla. Basically, there's a lot of negative sentiment news going on with Tesla, and it's talking about, you know, batteries blowing up, and also, you know, some things with logistical and, you know, just supply and demand type of issues going on with Tesla. And they're also getting some heat because while they were first with this EV revolutionary boom, right? There's a lot of the companies that kind of took the wheel that was built from Tesla and have been able to produce the same type of quality, if not a little bit better, and doesn't have the negative track record that Tesla has. So there's a lot of negative news coming on with Tesla. I do think we get a little bit more downward pressure in Tesla. Now, Tesla will run with SPY. If SPY's booming, Tesla will boom, right? But I do think before it's all said and done that we come back down here in within maybe, you know, within a month, maybe a month and a half, but we come back down to start testing these levels and seeing how we can hold. If we hold this level, we'll definitely sharp up to the upside. But if we can't hold these level, guys, I think it's pretty much a free flow downward, and we'll probably see some decent movement to the downside. So we're definitely paying attention to this and watching it. Now, I am going to put this on the 5-minute chart. I want you to see how Tesla moves during intraday. Guys, Tesla is a day trader's dream, and here's the reason. Look at this from the very get-go, right? You saw the consolidation, it dumped at the bell, and you saw your moving averages crossing to the downside. That was indicated to go ahead and go get short. Look at this, okay? This is why people love trading Tesla. 691 right here, boom. We're not even going wicking out all the way to the bottom. We just go to where the thing is there. 673, guys. That is money every day you look at it. And then you play the reversal, 673, going back up, not even going to the wicks, just going up to the full candles, right? 687. Okay, anytime a stock moves so effortlessly in a, you know, $25 to $30 increments, it is money all day, and you could have made money all sorts of ways playing Tesla. All right, so that's why people love to trade Tesla. It's expensive, it's risky, but the risk versus reward ratio for being able to get in and out of the trades is definitely there if you can afford it. All right, next stock, Sava. Ooh, you just hit my addiction right there. I love me some Sava, guys. All right, Sava, definitely a trade that I am paying attention to. I'm in deep. I've been in deep since about 15 bucks way back when, guys. I like me some Sava. They definitely got some great things going. They also got a lot of negative news against them when they were hidden with the Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease stuff going on. Now, I want to pull this out on a weekly chart a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about, okay? Here's where, this is when I started getting into Sava around this area, right? It boomed, and we saw a little bit, you know, of sideways motion, and then boom, all right here was all that news, like they have the cure to Parkinson's disease, they have the cure to Alzheimer's disease, they have the cure to other dementia type of diseases, and it spiked, and it spiked hard, guys. And then it sold off, and you got a lot of negative news, came back for some testing here, and now you're getting nothing but news. It's starting to resurgence again, and what we probably got going on is we got some of those testing coming back into the mix from, I believe, either the 12-month or the 18-month testing on their drug for Alzheimer's disease, that's simulafon. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but we got some of this news coming back into Sava, so it's definitely something to watch. It is one of my long-term holds. I'm holding this. I don't even look at the stock every day because I don't want to see how much I've lost over the time, but I do have a nice position, and we are looking pretty good, and I do like this for continuation. So this is a long hold for me. I do not play options on this because I got burned on some options, to be honest, but we're starting to get the sideways M. And remember yesterday, if you guys paid attention to me, I told you about the sideways M going to the right, which usually a downward spiral. Usually the sideways M going to the left can indicate a comeback here, a little downward pressure to test, and then a shoot up to the upside. So we'll pay attention and see if this particular pattern pans out for Sava. Definitely something to watch, guys. I like it. Apple. All right, Apple, looking at the day chart, bird's eye view approach. Guys, we talked about this the other day. We knew that Apple was going to come back down a little bit and test these lower levels. Apple is an absolute juggernaut. It's an absolute beast. Okay, it held up very well today amidst a lot of downward pressure from the overall broader market. And so I do think, Apple's ready to continue to the upside. It has some decent news coming out, about, products and services, and, popularity is still present. And, they do have some negative news, of course, with supply and demand issues, and China's really hurting their bottom line. But they got more positive catalysts than negative catalysts, and Apple's an absolute beast. I think this continues to go up. I think we go up to try to test these higher levels into, 142, 143, and go up there, see if we can hold those levels, which would be fantastic for a push to the upside. But I do think we close relatively strong this week on Apple, which is why we did a 143 Apple call out to 8 July. Give us a little bit of time in case we get some negative pressure. Give us some time to make some moves if we need to average down, and we still got another week to allow this to mature fully, to come back up here and make us some money. All right, MSFT. All right, Microsoft. Microsoft's moving kind of very similar to SPY, very similar to Apple. Microsoft had a good day today. After hours, it's down a little bit, but we like Microsoft. Down here, anytime you see Microsoft, I want to show you this. Go out on the weekly, okay? All right, so the weekly chart. Microsoft is a beast, all right? Now we're down here at previous levels where we've been at in 2021, all right? It doesn't like these levels, and we start to, anytime we come down here, it starts to reject up. You can see we got a morning star here, a morning star down, and immediately popped up. We're at a little shelf right here. And I think we got a little bit more upside before we start to get into some of this previous resistance points. I got a feeling that, we got maybe a $5 to $10 move to the upside on Microsoft that we can see, and definitely probably will peak up there, and we'll see some resistance, and we might retract just a little bit before we start going on to the next boom. The overall market will really depict on what direction Microsoft wants to go, but I do see some upside here, and I think Microsoft is strong, and it's a particular stock that a lot of investors feel. Now, nothing's safe, especially during, inflation, stagflation, deflation, whatever you want to call inflation, but no stock is safe. But I think investors going long feel safer with these juggernaut companies that everyone uses. I mean, try to think of this in terms of the corporate world. Can you name an office building that doesn't use a Microsoft product? You might say, oh, Apple Corporation. You know what? I guarantee you, Apple Corporation, there's some dude over there that doesn't understand sheets and they use Excel. I promise you that, okay? So I guarantee you Microsoft is going to be all right, and it's a good investment for long. All right, where are we at? We already did SPY, we did Microsoft, we did Tesla, Chewy, daily cup and handle. Let's look at it. Chewy on the daily cup and handle. I'm not seeing the cup and handle on the daily. I'm seeing we got a little, I mean, maybe if you call this a cup and handle, but usually the cup and handle, this is kind of a large rise of a handle, all right? Normally with a handle, you want to see the cup here, and then you want to see a little, probably a little downward angle handle that gives you that sweep to the upside. This is a little sharp of a handle, but I can kind of see what you're going. Maybe you're going further out right here, and we're coming up to it, so I could see that as well. Not a classic cup and handle pattern, but I do see what you're talking about. I like it. We had the negative pressure here, 1-2, but we didn't finish red, which takes us out of the range of 3 crows to the downside. And we had 3 soldiers previously, so we're breaking the pattern here. I like this to the upside. I think Chewy is a decent company. I think they got a lot of momentum behind them, and I like to see this to push to the upside. So going off the indicators, we got a little bit of downward pressure though. RSI is kind of flat. MACD looks like it's 50-50 on whether it wants to cross. SMI though is already crossing, but that could easily just be a consolidation to the upside and curl up. So we'll see what this goes, but I do like this. I think it got some momentum to the upside. Yeah, Chewy, bullish on Chewy. All right, where we at? Baba. All right, Baba. So hey, Baba did exactly like we thought it was going to, guys. Any of you that were on 2 days ago when we did this live chat, you guys heard me talk about Baba, and we put out these lines. We said Baba was pushing hard. It would get up to a pinnacle, which it did, right? And then this was going to be a resistance point and pull back to the downside. It wasn't ready to push and break through yet. Same thing, I agree with it, and it did just that. Push down, and we closed really tight. Now, could we go back up and test this again? Absolutely. And we could, and you're starting to see China, lifting and lighten up on some of their restrictions. That could be the catalyst that could potentially move investors to going long on Baba and push it and make it a breakout. Now, if Baba breaks out, guys, look at this. We're going to go out a little bit. Well, if Baba breaks out, look, we've been here multiple times. Let's go out a week. All right, Baba breaks out of this. There's pretty much a clear line. I mean, we got some little intra levels, right? But there's a clear line to the next heavy shelf of resistance point at around 160, guys. So that could be a huge movement to the upside. Obviously, you'll have relief and dump days in between, but that is a huge movement to the upside where it's basically got nothing really holding it away from rocketing to the upside. So if it gets some steam, it'll definitely push to the upside. So it's something to watch. It's something to pay attention to. We got to remember Alibaba is basically the Amazon of, Asia. So we have to pay attention to that, and we got to respect that as well. All right, BA. Let's look at BA. All right, BA on the weekly, looking like we got that 2-leg strategy from the previous high. Look, we came down, boom, consolidate, 1 leg, boom, 2 leg, 2 leg, and 3 leg down. See what we look on the daily. Daily's not looking bad. BA is one of those, I told you, it doesn't like to be down here very long, okay? It was down here, it reversed, and it went back up immediately. Now we're starting to close tight on our moving averages, all right? We got to pay attention to this. So anytime you see your moving averages converging on each other, that's basically, you can call it consolidation, you can call it, tight, you can call it wealth accumulation, whatever you call it. Basically, it's saying, hey, investor, a decision is going to be made on this particular stock, and you need to be available to ride the wave, whether it's riding up or riding down. Now, if I was a betting man, I would bet we probably ride to the upside and try to at least cover this gap that we have a little bit. We got a gap here about 160. I don't think we got enough juice to go all the way up to it, but we could definitely push to the previous shelf that we had around here. 150, 145 for sure. Absolutely, with some steam and some volume. And it would be nice to have a catalyst news event on BA as well. But we're going to get to a decision point. Our moving averages are tightening up, and we need to be ready to react, whether it's the push to the upside or push to the downside. The gambler in me is saying we're going to push to the upside to try to at least close in on this previous gap here on high. Oh, let me admit somebody. What's up, Carl? Welcome to the group. All right, Cook. All right, Cook. We pushed up hard, and then we came down. Look at this. This is tight consolidation here. So, and it's previously tight. So I haven't paid attention to this stock. I don't know anything about this stock. I need to look at this one though, because this is unusual movement. Boom, 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 3 soldiers, and then just a drop to a consolidation period. And now these are back to being tight like they were previously. So, 3 tight is usually a good indication of, a direction is pending. So, we'll have to see what happens with this tomorrow, but I'm gonna put this on my watch list so I can pay attention to this and actually research a little bit so I can figure out what type of stock this is. But yeah, we're pretty tight here coming from a downward drip. and it's definitely a penny stock category. So we could be looking for a movement, especially if it gets some volume. Maybe it has some short interest, low float, something like that. Could be pending the squeeze. So we'll have to see. Take a look at it and check it out. WYN, WYN. This is one that you guys, if you watched my video last night, you saw that I talked about this. These are gambling resorts, okay? The gambling resorts are definitely being highlighted last night on CNBC as being good recovery, particular stocks, and getting a lot of interest. Okay, today it came down to the downside, but this might be an opportunity to potentially go in on a dip and go out a little bit. If you're an options trader, you could look out 2 to 4 weeks. I think going at the money, in the money would be a safe bet, a decent risk versus reward. But if you want to go on shares on these particular ones, this would be a decent time to start nibbling away at positions and holding for a while. Okay, China's starting to loosen up on gambling restrictions. The US is starting to loosen up on gambling restrictions. People are wanting to come away from being stuck in the house and stuff like this, and they got a little bit of money because they've been saving. And once we get out of this inflation area where travel will be more convenient and conducive to paychecks, these gambling resorts definitely have some money in them. And the ones that are embracing the fintech so that people don't have to actually go to the resort to gamble, DraftKings, Pins, stuff like that. The big ones that are embracing that will reap the benefits of those online platforms as well. So people can sit at their house, watch TV, watch the game, gamble a little bit, and have a good time. So definitely keep your eye on those. Right, where we at? AMD. AMD, man. Them puts paid the bills today, guys. Telling you, that was a fantastic trade, and we knew it was we used just straight up supply and demand. We knew we were in demand zone right here. We knew that we peaked up to the top and we got rejected, and all we were doing was just following the consolidation levels. Okay, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do. AMD loves to follow the trends. Okay, so it doesn't follow it exactly, but anytime you find a good trend like supply and demand zone type of areas, definitely paying attention. Now, do I think AMD is going to stay down here for long? Absolutely not, okay? So if you were looking for a trade to get into, I would say that going something like a 79 call or an 80 call and pushing out 2 to 4 weeks is a safe bet. However, a lot of other people think the same thing, and so you're going to be paying premium on those particular trades, but that'll definitely be able to pay the bills. I promise you that. So I don't think it's going to stay down here long. I think we push to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we have a huge volume increase on this one and we cover half of this distance that we had today and end up with like an $85, $86 end of the day push tomorrow. So that's definitely something that this is known to do with dramatic sharp movements from areas it doesn't like to be. So it won't be down here for long, guys. Where we at? LEU. What is LEU? Centrus Energy. Centrus Energy. Three crows. Watch for the reversal. All right, we got 3 crows down. I don't know much about the stock. It's relatively cheap. It's an energy trade, so we followed the other energy markers. Okay, we're using the XLE as a guideline. All right, so if we're watching LEU, right, we have to have another chart of XLE up, or we at least have to have XLU up, okay, depending on whether this is a true energy play or a utilities play. But we got to have another chart up and following the trend. 3 crows will signify that we should be looking and start thinking about the potential reversal for a 3 soldier up, but it could always continue to the downside. So if we're going off of the trends, we haven't been down here for a while. That we went kind of low, got rejected. We haven't been down this area for a while, about early in the month, so almost a month. So definitely is probably testing this area, probably see some rejection and push to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised if we're able to push back up and start to recover on our moving averages that are looking to cross to the downside, but potentially on a strong market day tomorrow, could definitely see some upside here. So I'm going to go ahead and call it now. I'm going to say bullish. I think 2650 is a decent price range for tomorrow by the end of the day. We'll check on that. Someone keep me honest and DM me on LEU if we hit the $26.50 tomorrow. All right, where we at? C, we're talking about financials. All right, Citigroup. So Citigroup, we're looking in range. We're definitely downtrending a little bit, but we're tight. closing tight. I still am bullish on the financial sector. I think it's been beat up. It doesn't like to be down here. It definitely is a safer bet inside of, you know, inflationary concerns, stagflation concerns, stuff like that. So people are going to start going to the financial sector, the big ones, okay, not the speculative financial sectors, but the big ones. They're also going to start going to insurance groups. All right, those are safer bets for longer term positions during instability and you know, just I don't know the word for it, but just markets that are very unstable. So people are going to be looking to these. Now, we do look like we got some downward pressure, but I like how it closed today. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to push to this gap, try to test this gap. If we did it once, we rejected. I think we get a little bit of steam and start pushing to close on this gap by the end of the week. I'd like to see that. I think we can do it too. 49 bucks there, just $2 movement. Yeah, I think Citigroup has that in their case, especially on how they closed today. So I'll be looking for this one to see how this plays out tomorrow. XLF is the ETF that covers those financial sectors. Definitely paying attention to that as well. Where we at? All right, Kroger. All right, Kroger, you know, this is a consumer staple one. We're consolidating pretty hard. We came down, you know, let's go out a little bit. All right, came down, doesn't like to be down here, came back up, consolidating. You know, this is going to follow that particular sector. You know, Kroger is a pretty safe bet too. You know, people are still going to buy food. They're not going to buy, you know, if they have an option to buy Campbell's soup or, you know, the Kroger, you know, soup, you know, they're going to buy the Kroger soup that's, you know, 50 cents rather than the Campbell soup that's $1.10. So, you know, people are going to do that and they'll lose a little bit of money, but, you know, grocery stores and consumer staples are going to be all right, no matter which direction we go. So I do like these trades for long. I'd be looking to go, you know, on mini leaps or leaps on these particular trades. I'd be looking out 6 months to further out, you know, even a year or 2 years on these particular trades. Get in, let it do its thing, and then reap the benefits, you know, a year and a half, 2 years from now. All right, MSTR. No issues, Leroy, got you. All right, looking like you know, we're closing tight, a lot tighter than we were the previous. Look at this. All right, here we are. So we're closing a lot tighter than we were, and we're starting to uptrend a little bit, kind of downtrending here recently. So we got 3 crows coming down, right? So but I'd like to see probably, you know, potentially a reversal. You know, today's close was relatively mild. You know, it was really tight. So, you know, that tells me that, you know, a lot of the sellers are out of this, and people like this stock. So, you know, this could easily push to the upside. It does like to move. And so I could see this pushing on some good volume and a good day as far as, you know, the biotech stocks are concerned. I could see this pushing to the upside. I'd like to see it push up here to this last shelf, at least test it, 204, 200, something like that. I think is definitely in the future near term. So I'm bullish on this. I like it. All right, AMC, meme stock category. All right, AMC, man. Not looking good, guys. AMC definitely, you know, here got people excited. The squeeze of all squeeze is coming, boom, to the moon, and then they were like, nah, forget it. Nope. All right. But it's holding these bottom levels fairly well. I think we got some more downside on this. I think we come back down to test these levels. I wouldn't be surprised if we even start testing these wick outs here. You know, $8, you know, $8.50, something like that, to see if we can hold that level. Probably we'll see a sharp reversal and some definite volatility once we start to get a little bit lower. But I like this for bottoming out a little bit past this moving average here. Which one is this? This one's the 5. All right, 5 moving average. We'll probably bottom out a little bit to the downside, come to test these lower levels, and then we'll probably see that volume come in, pushing it to the upside with some volatility. So if I was a betting man, I'd be saying short on AMC short term with a violent upswing direction after we hit bottom. Yeah, is this not AMC? Oh, hey, appreciate it. This is AM, my bad. I was like, huh, this looks weird. Oh, well, AMC, here we go. Okay, next stop. Going straight, hey guys, I was just going straight off the stock looking at it, but this is AMC. Okay, now we're consolidating. All right, consolidating, starting to get tight on our moving averages. So this is a different story. Okay, we're not dumping like that previous one. What was that, AM? I have to look at that again, but we're not dumping like AM was, getting tighter on the moving averages. So we're squeezing a little bit, and we got kind of, you know, a downward triangle type of wedge forming right now. Sometimes we look at these and these are good, especially when the moving averages are converging and getting tight. We can see a sharp, dramatic push to the upside. I'd like to see how this closes. The indicators would indicate that we're a little bullish on it. We're above. We already crossed previously with the MACD. RSI has room to grow, and SMI crossed back here. So we're looking bullish to the upside. You know, if we can get that volume and push, this could definitely roll. Now, I don't think we get the squeeze of all squeeze and just go to 200, right? I think we come back up probably up here around maybe 15, 16 bucks. We hit that resistance and we come back down. I don't think it's ready yet. I don't think it's there yet. So, but definitely looking good for a push to the upside. I think if we get a break, I like it. And yeah, T-Law, I appreciate you keeping me honest, man. I was sitting there like, man, this stock looks weird, but I was just going off of it. All right, MU had earnings Thursday after close. Let's look at MU. All right. Yeah, MU earnings Thursday after close. You know, these are hit and miss. All right, these semiconductors, they're getting beat up really heavy, and you know, you got some good ones and some bad ones, and they tend to, and they're not moving exactly the same, which is weird, right? Because you know, you had Qualcomm the other day that was just booming, and then you know, AMD was rolling down and NVDA was rolling down. So MU is one of my preferred ones. I like the stock. Anytime you're down here in the 50s, I think MU is a steal to buy shares and hold on. But we're definitely looking for a potential reversal. We got 3 crows here. All right. It doesn't like to be down here very long. We'll probably see a push to the upside and probably try to come fill this gap and see if we're ready to fill it. I'd like to be optimistic and say that we're ready now to at least fill this gap before we come back down, but that would be, you know, cautiously optimistic on there. So I think we look for the reversal, and we could potentially come up here to about $60, $61 and test this gap up on the upside. So that's just me, but I would want to give you time. Okay, if you're going on option contracts and not shares, give yourself time, 2 to 4 weeks at least, at the money, in the money as much as you can afford. All right, where am I at? MO. Oh, you got to bring MO up. MO is a terrible trade, man. All right, just so you guys know, if you're new in here, okay, we thought MO was consolidating, had this candle here, and I thought I was going to push to the upside, and all of a sudden, while we get into it, right, the very next hour, some news dropped, and they were like, hey, you know, they're pulling Juul's e-cigs off the shelf, and FDA is going to ban them and everything like that, and then you can see the rest of the results, boom, 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 all to the downside. So this has got a little, you know, I got a little sore spot in my heart with MO. Okay, so I don't like it, but I do think they were only a third of the company that was invested in Juul's, and as of right now, you know, I went to a shop the other day and Juul was still on the shelf, so that just might be some guidance. There might be some appeal process, so there's still revenue coming in with these Juuls because they have not been pulled from the shelves yet as far as revenue is concerned. So, you know, there's some potential that we could push to the upside. Like I said, it was only a third of their investment was in that particular company, so they have other things, but they need to come out with some bullish news. Otherwise, they're going to sit down here at the bottom and consolidate until they do get that news. So the outlook on MU is 50-50 right now until we get some decent news coming. All right, look out. Got you, Leroy. No problem. All right, guys. Hey, if that's it, man, I appreciate you guys coming along with us on the journey and checking things out. Guys, listen, I hope you come check out Traders War Room. I hope you guys enjoy what I'm providing you guys. You know, we've been making a lot of money, doing a lot of good things for a lot of people. And, you know, I have fun doing this. You know, it's part of the grow, learn, and share together, guys. And I love that we can do this together on a digital platform and have a good time. And we talk and chit chat inside of the trading floor. So from me and the Traders War Room staff, I want to say thank you guys for being dedicated investors and for being, you know, fantastic traders. And I hope you guys much success, and let's go out and kill the market tomorrow. All right, appreciate you guys. Have a great evening.